Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into the pretty wild world of altcoins this August 2025. Bitcoin's grip on the market, it's loosened up a bit, and that's freed up capital, kicking off what looks like a real alt season. Where smaller coins get their moment.
Yeah, it's quite a mix of things happening. You've got market cycles, sort of repeating themselves like we've seen before, plus big tech upgrades, think Solana's Fire Dancer client getting close, and really important real-world stuff like tokenized T-bills finding their footing.
Right, it feels different this time. Maybe less pure speculation.
Potentially, yes. More about utility, actual use cases starting to show value.
Okay, so that's our mission today. We're going to unpack 5 key altcoins in this mix. Solana, Sui, ONDO, Chainlink, and Cardano. We'll look at what they do, what's driving them right now, and crucially, the risks you need to keep in mind. Let's kick off with the big one. Solana, SOL. Known for speed, right? High performance layer 1, like 65,000 transactions per second. That's built for fast dApps.
Exactly. And the real kicker lately is the adoption. Visa actually settling USDC stablecoin payments on Solana now. That's huge for real-world finance. Plus, Stripe re-enabled USDC payments using Solana too.
Wow, Visa and Stripe, that's serious institutional validation.
It is. And don't forget the DeFi side, about $8.6 billion locked up in Solana's DeFi ecosystem. That signals a lot of activity.
But there are always buts.
Yeah.
Solana's had those network outages in the past. That has to linger, right? Affecting trust.
It's definitely a risk factor they've worked hard to address. Reliability is key.
And for investors, those FTX token unlocks. That sounds like a lot of SOL hitting the market.
Yeah.
Over 80 million through 2025.
Yes, that's a significant supply increase to watch. It puts pressure on the price unless demand keeps pace or grows even faster.
Okay, so established speed with Solana, but facing some headwinds. What about the newer players, like Sui? That's another layer 1, aiming for scalability, but with a different approach. Object piece data, the move language.
That's right, built for parallel processing from the ground up. Their big news, just this August, actually, was Mill City Ventures. It's a NASDAQ-listed company. They added almost 82 million SUI tokens to their treasury reserves.
A public company holding SUI as a reserve asset. That's a big vote of confidence for a newer chain.
It certainly provided a strong demand boost, yeah, especially as it happened during a month with a fairly large token unlock itself.
Okay. But that brings up the risk side for Sui too, doesn't it? The unlocks. You mentioned one, but there's more coming.
Oh, absolutely. Over 65% of SUI tokens are still scheduled to unlock between now and 2028.
65%. So that supply increase is a constant pressure point for investors to track.
It is. Sustained demand is crucial to absorb that ongoing dilution.
All right, moving from layer 1 infrastructure to something different. ONDO. This is all about tokenized real-world assets, or RWAs. Like bringing U.S. Treasury yields onto the blockchain.
Precisely. ONDO Finance is really pioneering that space, making traditional finance yields more accessible through crypto rails. And they got a major nod recently. The White House's digital asset report in July actually cited ONDO.
The White House report mentioned them by name.
Explicitly, yeah, as a leader in compliant tokenization. Plus, they bought Oasis Pro, an SEC-registered broker-dealer.
Okay, so they're building the bridges legally and technically. That makes sense, given the RWA focus.
It does, and the market noticed. ONDO saw a huge surge, like 1,900% from its initial coin offering.
1,900%. But again, I have to ask about unlocks. Seems to be a theme.
It is, especially with newer projects. ONDO has very large unlocks coming, like 1.7 billion ONDO in January 2026.
Whoa. That, plus the fact that regulations around tokenized securities are still, evolving, definitely risks to watch.
Absolutely. Regulatory clarity is still developing in this specific area.
Okay, so ONDO connects TradFi to DeFi. But connecting blockchains to any off-chain data needs oracles. Which brings us to Chainlink, Ilemage. Still the dominant player in decentralized oracles, right? And now pushing cross-chain stuff with CCIP.
That's it. CCIP, the cross-chain interoperability protocol, is key for secure data and value transfer between different chains. And for Catalyst, they just got major security certifications this August. ISO 27001 and SOC 2 Type 1.
Ah, those are big deals for enterprises. Shows they're serious about security standards.
Very big deal. It builds trust. They've also run successful CCIP trials with Swift and major banks, hinting at deeper integration. And importantly, the network itself uses fees to buy Link tokens, creating some baseline demand.
That built-in demand is interesting. But Chainlink's success is still tied to overall DeFi activity, isn't it, for fee generation?
Largely, yes. More smart contract usage needing real-world data means more fees for Chainlink. There's also that classic Oracle paradox, ensuring nodes are properly incentivized.
Right. Okay, one more. Cardano, ADA, known for its very academic, peer-reviewed approach. Slower, maybe, but methodical.
That's the reputation. Focus on research, formal methods. They've made progress recently, though. The Voltaire era kicked off, bringing on-chain governance. And Hydra, their Layer 2 scaling solution, is actually hitting mainnet usage now.
Hydra's live.
Okay.
And there are whispers about an ADA spot ETF.
Rumors, yes. Nothing confirmed, but if that happened, it would obviously be a significant catalyst.
Still, that slower pace compared to others, does it risk missing out on some of this alt-season momentum? Their DeFi TVL is around $350 million, which is growing, but...
It's smaller, yeah. Compared to Solana, for instance. It's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Rigor versus speed to market. Time will tell which approach wins long-term.
So wrapping up the alt-season outlook, what's the general feel?
I think the base case is a selective rotation. Not everything pumps wildly, but quality projects with real use cases see solid gains. Maybe, 50 to 150% over months for the strong ones.
Okay, so for you listening, what should you do? A quick checklist. Really dig into the fundamentals of any project. Check that on-chain data, especially token unlocks. And don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify.
Definitely. And keep an eye on the macro picture. Global liquidity matters. Bitcoin's dominance tells you about risk appetite. Ethereum's performance often leads the alt market, too.
It really feels like August 2025 is showing an altcoin market that's, well, maybe growing up a bit. Maturing infrastructure, real adoption stories, not just hype.
It seems that way. Which leads to the big question, really. As these alt seasons potentially create huge opportunities, what is it? What unique utility or actual problem solving that will ultimately separate the long-term winners from just, the flavor of the month? Something for you to think about.